Okay. So, Caroline, we're saying that we if the group had come together and we're all sitting around face to face, we'd be saying the theme today is basic emotions and feelings. It's interesting. I mean, we don't want to set people too many exercises, but you could say, you could have a go at making a list of as many as feelings or emotions. Like you could even pause the video here and make a private list of however many feelings and emotions you can think of. Should we talk about the 7 basic emotions then? A bit.
Yeah.
We see joys and sorrows expressed in the faces of nature. Can we believe what we see? Does a dog smile with happiness? Does an elephant cry out in grief? Because no one could measure feelings, it's been a scientific crime to attribute human emotions to other animals. But new technologies of brain imaging and genetic testing, coupled with observations of animals who are learning a human language, finally offer us a glimpse into the hearts and minds of our fellow beings. What we see is hauntingly familiar. From fear to compassion, from mother love to heartache. All animals, warm-blooded or cold, share the same basic emotional toolkit: fear, aggression, and the urge to procreate. These are not sentimental luxuries. They are the basis of survival.
One emotion is lust, which is necessary in order for propagation of our species, in order for...
We've got love.
Yeah, tell us about love.
Yep. Love is emotion that's thinking of why it's useful for us in terms of, a love help, meaning that we are able to care for the people that we do love, motivates us to love and to care, and to keep going with that caring, with the love that we have for our children, for example, or a partner or another.
Okay, excellent. Shall I do sadness? So, I think sadness and grief relates to the difficult task of mourning and loss.
With sadness, perhaps that thinking why we have it in terms of makes us slow down and to pace ourselves, to kind of process what's going on around us.
And that touches on a little bit that we'll come on to, which is, the way emotions can be hidden, or that we can feel more than one emotion at the same time, and one might be pushed down and another one more conscious of or more aware of, and that's an important part of this module.
And awareness in that other people, that happens to other people as well. So whoever we are observing in our child or our partner or our friend, we see one emotion, but actually there are likely, may well likely be other emotions that are masked beyond that. Yeah,
and then there's the links that come about through, if you put someone in a feeling of loss. So if I end up feeling a sense of loss, for a long time, I might then have, or an intense feeling of loss, I might then be made to feel angry by this. And so now I've got loss and anger. And by the time the person who's left me waiting, if it's someone I love and I feel I miss them, when they come back, they might not see my loss, they might hear only my anger. Because rather than saying to them, I really missed you and I'm angry that you left me for so long, I might just be in touch with the anger on the surface and say, where have you been? How dare you leave me? And making it difficult for them to respond to anything other than the anger. And it would take them to really imagine, gosh, he's angry and I don't think I've done anything wrong, but maybe he's feeling something about my having been away. It will take imagination to go for, is there loss under there as well? Should we talk about anger? Should we talk about anger?
Yeah.
You want to say something about what anger is? What's the positive thing about anger, for instance? What's good about anger?
Well, I guess anger is there to keep us safe, to protect us.
Yeah.
And if we've evolved to have a feeling of anger, to be able to maybe flee from something that's dangerous, or to protect ourselves from something that we perceive as dangerous.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely right. It's a. I mean, there's no such thing as an invalid feeling. All feelings or emotions are valid. They might occur because we misperceive a situation. We might think ourselves in danger and be angry in response, or be defensive and attacking in response when we're not actually in danger. But
Fear.
So, I mean, fear is essential for survival, isn't it? Someone has said we've only survived as a species because of our paranoia. There's the one that often gets missed. I remember Claire saying, is curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to speak to that, or do you want to speak to a different one?
I guess for me, for curiosity in terms of its purpose, its use, it's used to help us to kind of, again, a motivator, a drive to learn, to explore, to find out about our environment, to find out what's safe, what's unsafe. So therefore, I don't know if you can elaborate on that more, Gerry.
Well, only in that, I think that absolutely sums it up. I think relevant to us is we know when our curiosity is at the forefront that we're probably feeling secure. And when we see our children curious about the world, or curious about other people's minds or a subject, it suggests that in that moment they're not being preoccupied by fear or anger or sadness, say. And so we've done sadness, anger, fear, curiosity, love, lust. I'm looking at the list. There must be another one. Joy. Joy. Yeah. What are your thoughts about joy?
Joy. Joy. I guess that's next step to me. The emotion of joy is of enjoyment, of fun, it's a happy experience, and it makes you want to keep doing that experience that is joyful, is giving you that happiness feeling.
You think it has always a bit of a wish to connect in it? That is it one of those emotions that really gets you seeking to connect with someone, to share it, or to I don't know. I mean, it just occurred to me now as you're saying it. I was thinking,
I guess what springs to mind is, when memories come into my own mind of an experience that I would label with the emotion joy, is that they all involve other people.
Okay. Have you got one you're happy to share? Kind of a early joy? Or
Yes. I think recently my son, who's 5,
yeah,
had been struggling with his confidence to learn to ride a bike,
okay,
and so it's taken him a long time.
yeah,
And then it suddenly kind of clicked with him.
oh,
He found the confidence to
yeah,
get on his bike, and that's it felt like quite a milestone for him to be able to ride his
yeah,
bike.
yeah, it is.
And
Yeah, yeah,
that, to me, I would describe joy as one emotion that I felt. And then being able to go on a bike ride
yeah.
with him, that and again involving other people, it was an experience of joy, of connection with, and sharing with other people.
That reminds me, that's a lovely example. It reminds me of when I was age 12 and I went down, he got sent in Ireland, the west of Ireland, to learn Irish language by living with a host family, and you had to stay there and speak Irish. But on the first night, before I got homesick, you collected your bike, and I went cycling down this country road on my own, arrived at a tiny little harbour, little dock at the end, and looked out across this bay, and there was a beautiful island and a cliff, and I was filled with joy, and there was no one to share it with, and I had to get back on the bike and cycle back to say, come down this road with me, wait till you see the sight at the end. Anyway, so it was joy, but I also had this, I don't want to be on my own with it, I want someone to share it with me. And
Yeah.
again, really interesting to hear if parents get this far in our video. It'll be interesting to hear if anybody else has something similar, or maybe people find joy and then curl up with it and just keep it private. And maybe is that joy a private one because it happens in the context of a fear about people taking it away, you know? Okay, and that reminds me that one of the exercises we'll post is identifying where in your body you feel different emotions. So should we have a go at labeling at least one of those emotions in relation to where we feel them in our bodies, as an example?
Yeah.
Do you want to stay with joy, or do you want to pick a different one?
I think when I feel anger, I kind of I feel it in kind of in my core, kind of almost like a hotness, and in my hands as well. Kind of my hands, like a hotness, like a clamminess and a tension.
Okay.
And it's interesting just thinking. I find it quite difficult to locate exactly where it is because I'm not feeling angry right now.
No,
but
interesting.
Yeah. But I think my memory of it is it's kind of in my core and in my hands, and a hot kind of tension.
That's a really good point.
Almost.
That's a really good point, because we're going to be asking parents to do the same. And in one way, you could say, if we're sat in the group together, we'd be saying, can you draw on this diagram where in your body you feel anger and joy and all the rest? But maybe if we say instead, over the next week, if you have a moment of anger, try and notice where in your body you feel it, and then draw it.